Hey, how you doing? Last day of school for the term. Now we got some projects set up for home. One of them is to replace the back steps. And I'd been pricing hardwood from a supplier that I get for school. And I was sort of working out all the ins and outs of what I need to get. And then my wife got onto eBay and discovered a company that does kit steps in either treated pine or, merbau, which is good outdoor hardwood for decking and everything, called Easy Step. And I've actually used them at school to do a small step, a couple of steps into a shed. She showed me those and we said, yeah, well, those kits are all recessed, they're nice strong joints and everything. Everything comes cut ready to go. All I've got to do is basically assemble it and put it in. The current step's 13 steps, and their 13 step kit wasn't tall enough, which means that the steps out back were built to an old standard compared to what the Australian standard is now. A 14 step, and it was just the right size. And I rang them during the week, and he said, I actually haven't got any 14 step stringers, but I've got 15s, you can buy that, I'll give it to you for the 14 price and just cut it short. It's better than trying to start everything from scratch. And they were an hour south from work, and so I shot down there. I got there at about 10 to 4, and while I'm waiting outside for the guy to come out, I look across and I see this set of stringers and steps in treated pine sitting there, and I counted the steps and there was 14 steps, and I went, oh bugger. I obviously wasn't clear enough when I was talking to him that I needed the merbau. And when he came out, I asked him, and I said, I need merbau, I need hardwood where I am. And he goes, oi, because he had to get the forklift out and run back to the back of the factory and find them. So he checked the system, and they actually had a set of stringers for 14 steps, but he only had 13 steps in stock. The stringers and the screws is one part of the set thing, and then they just have all the steps loose. And he said, I could give you those and give you like a treated pine step for now, and then when the next one come in, we can get it to you. I said, okay, because I would need to. I'd driven down there. And the one bonus was the 14 step stringers actually fit in max without having to hang out the windows. I was expecting to have these 15 step stringers sticking out the passenger window, and I'm glad I didn't have to do that because it just rained on me. From the back door to the windscreen is a little over 4.5 metres inside max, and these things are only 4.46, so they fit in beautifully. And then just stacked all the steps in around the back. And he said, I'll post the other one out to you when it gets here. The fact that I bought this kit's going to save me a ton of time because I don't have to do any recessing myself. Cutting out rebates for steps, 28 rebates, that'd take forever. The bit of extra money that it costs to buy the kit, I think is offset by the amount of labour I'm going to basically save. But it's been an interesting drive along here. Haven't driven out through Bringelly in a long time. I used to work down near this place in Minto, and I drove back the way I would normally have come from when I used to work down there. And they're getting prepared for the second Sydney airport out of Badgerys Creek, and so they're widening the road and everything. It's just like the whole area's changing. I mean, it has been 15 years since I was down there. These stairs are needing to be replaced. They're all pretty bad, pretty rotten, especially that one. My wife found a stair kit which I went and bought, so I'm going to replace that. But before I do that, I've also got to do
replacing this landing as well. The landing was, I replaced a number of years ago now as a temporary replacement because the old one had basically rotted, but long term this all needs to be hardwood because of where I live. So I'm going to be removing all of this stuff and replacing it, but before I do that I've actually got to mill all timber. Not many places sell hardwood timber in construction sizes now. They sell rough sawn, but I just figured I've got a lot of hardwood that I could mill down. So the rough sawn I would have had to mill anyway, so I've got this other stuff I'm going to mill down. I need to make a whole stack of 90 by 35s or even 90 by 45 because that's the basic standard of a 2x4 base in framing. So I'll end up ripping a whole stack of that down and cleaning it up, and once I've got those ready to go in, because I already know all my sizes, I'll then do a quick rip out of all of this and replace all of that as quickly as I can so that my dogs can still come out and that sort of thing, and then I can work on doing the stairs. You can see the state of the stairs from underneath. So there's a fair bit of work to do there, and here we go. This is a lot of the stuff I've got to reclaim to resaw up. This is all hardwood, this is all hardwood. This stuff is Oregon or Western Red Cedar, I think, which I can use for rails because they don't need to be hardwood. And this stuff too, not for the rails, for the little picket things. These little things, they don't need to be hardwood. The framing and the decking and all that sort of stuff needs to be. So I bought some actual mobile decking, which is a suitable hardwood for the deck, but I've just got to do the rest of the framing and picking through all of my stuff. I've got a fair bit of hardwood in here which I can mill down, and this stuff here I can mill down as well. Just basically clean up for doing those joists and things. Joists and bearers milled up. Really wish I had a jointer and a thicknesser, because that would have been quicker, but it's done. I'll end up doing that demo and replacing that tomorrow. What I think I might do just now is get all these pickets off, so that's one less thing to worry about trying to do tomorrow before the sun goes down. Made good use of the mallet, I made it work. Next day, demo time. I'll pull this down, pull all the framing out, and replace with the hardwood and new hardwood decking as well. Then I can get on with the stairs. stairs mostly assembled. As you can see, I'm trying to get it lined up to the top, and it was annoying that I couldn't put it up there and just assemble it, but since the screws go in on the outside up there, I can't screw in up against brick, so I had to have it all the way pulled out here. I had it down on the pallet, as you saw. And now it weighs a freaking ton. Apparently each step's like 8 kilos. There's 13 in there at the moment. So I'll turn this around. I've got this ratchet strap there to help pull it a little bit towards the deck, and to help just a little bit more securing with it. And I'll lift it up on this side, chuck a scrap under it, and I get that bit of wood, I jam that up a little bit further, it lifts it up, I'll put another bit of wood under there. So here's going to take a while, because it's still got about 1.5 feet to go. Got it. Permanently attach it later. Screw all the stairs back together, because I haven't put all those in. I wanted to make sure it was up. Stairs are in. In terms of, I can now use them to get back in the house, and so can the dogs. But there's no rail on them. And I've just set up pallets to keep the dogs from jumping off the side of the steps down where it's lower. But they're in place. I've attached them to the landing, but I do have to remake the whole handrail, and I've got to do all the rails and everything on the landing to match the way I've done the rails on the deck, or the way the rails were started, and then I just kind of expanded on it, putting on the cup rail and that sort of thing. So at the moment, functional stairs again. The rain was a bit of a bugger, but it didn't get too heavy, which was good, so I was able to finish and get them installed. thinking in terms of the video, I'm thinking of everything that I've basically filmed so far, which was, you know, picking up the stairs, milling the timber to redo the landing, and then today's stuff with the stairs. I might make this like a cut-off point and make doing the handrail and all the railings and everything something separate, because I don't know how long this will get. Anyway, thanks for coming along.